Hi, Walter Carter here with a Martin 521 from 1921. There's lots to talk about with this guitar. We start with the size. The first part of the model name, 5, refers to size 5, which was the smallest size that Martin made. It's about 11 1/4 wide. It looks like what we call today a parlor guitar. But keep in mind that all the guitars from the parlor era were small. Maybe not this small, but Martin's largest guitar through the 1800s was size O at 13.5 inches wide, so just a 2-inch difference. So these guitars were not relegated just to the parlor, since they were all small and they were the only guitars around. This would also be a party guitar in the 1800s. It would be a performance, stage guitar during that time, or just something to have fun with. One of the distinguishing factors of the size 5 is the scale length. It's shorter than the standard Martin scale, even of that day. This has a scale of 21.4 inches, which comes about to the 3rd fret on a dreadnought or an OM model. So it's basically like capoing a guitar at the 3rd fret, assuming you tune it up, and it can be tuned up a minor third. So if you're keeping score here, playing along at home, you're not hearing a G that I'm playing, you're hearing a B flat. To put a label on this high third guitar, people started calling it a terz guitar, T-E-R-Z. So with the same root as tertiary, which means third in order. So you can play a high part on this guitar, like a high strung guitar. The tuning is the same, the feel is the same, the tension on the strings is the same. So let's go to the second part of the name, 21. It's another old style, but sort of an in-between style for Martin. Usually distinguishable by a herringbone sound hole ring. Otherwise, it's most easily recognizable as having rosewood, like a style 28, but with the dark binding of an 18. So it's a guitar that stands in the middle of Martin's 18 and 28 styles. The last and really the most unusual part of this guitar is the top. This is what Martin just called a dark top. They did it in the 20s on a few guitars. This is the original finish. No one knows really why they did, why they started, or why they stopped. With 21 falling between styles 18 and 28, it was not one of Martin's more popular styles. And between like 1902 and 1920, Martin made only 17 of these 521 models, or at least that's the way they're presented in Mike Longworth's book. I think he probably misplaced a number in his grid because this guitar is indeed from 1921. And then for some reason in 1928, another 100 of these guitars were made, but for a total of only 117 of the 521s. This little body was also suited for tenors, so it was actually more popular in a tenor with a tenor neck. And Martin made over 300 521 tenors, but still all in that time frame. By comparison, the 518 was much more popular. Around 2,700 of those were made, but as tenors. And the 517, the all mahogany model, was made in even greater numbers, 3,600, but tenors. So the size 5 continued to be made even after the 521 was not made. But you don't see many. Probably the most visible artist to have one of these was Marty Robbins, who played one on stage, although he was primarily a piano player. A couple of other country artists owned 518s, such as Johnny Rodriguez and Freddie Weller, the old rock star turned country in the 1980s. Most recently, one of Sting's signature models was what he called a mini Martin, but it was a size 5. So it is still a very viable guitar with if you need a high-strung guitar, if you need a guitar for just sitting around, songwriting, or travel guitar, and if you should still have a parlor, this would be the perfect guitar for it.